Hello there, it's me, it's Rex the dog, and I'm looking for my knife. There we go. Is this acceptable for YouTube to be holding a knife? Whoa, oh, okay, so that's in the way. Alright, this is interesting. Never done this before, but I don't know, let's see what happens. So, again, with a little bit of the multitasking. Again, with a little bit of the, getting a little bit intimate. Letting you get involved in my world as I do my little things. So, again, I am Rex the dog. I am a YouTuber. Aspiring YouTuber. And, today, as I am on my continued quest to 500 subscribers, I'm building a community of people to talk to. Again, I'm giving you just one of my little furry vlogs from me, the self-declared king of the furries. To kind of talk to you and tell you what's going on with my life while I chop up some veggies. It's interesting because actually yesterday on Twitter, I posted a little thing of kind of, hey, if you do these things, you're going to feel sick all the time. Because it's the type of stuff that I do, and I think it really helps me out in terms of the way that my body feels. And quite often the way that my mind feels as well. And the things that I wrote was I was saying, in terms of stuff you eat, if you're just eating basically, some nice healthy meats, some fruits and vegetables for every meal, you're going to probably feel pretty sick. If you're drinking quite a lot of water between every meal as well, you're probably going to feel pretty sick. If the amount of protein that hopefully high quality protein from natural sources, like, maybe it's from plants, maybe it's from that meat, or fish or whatever. If you're thinking of your target body weight in pounds and you're eating that much grams a day, you're probably going to feel pretty good. If you front load the start of your day with 50 grams of that protein, it sounds quite a lot. But if you manage to do that, I do that with a shit ton of egg whites. If you manage to do that, you're probably going to feel pretty good. If you cut out alcohol to the best of your ability, you're probably going to feel pretty good, right? If you manage to walk at least 10,000 steps per day of the week, you're probably going to feel pretty good. If you manage to get in 4 sessions of resistance training, whether that be lifting weights or calisthenics and body weight style exercises, you manage to do that 4 times a week, you're probably going to be feeling pretty good. If you give yourself the freedom to break the rules I've outlined for you. Well, one final rule I did mention there is if you want a snack and you replace those little snacks with stuff like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, you're probably going to feel pretty good, right? Now, the last kind of thing that is, if you're also got to feel comfortable and acceptable to break all those rules, about 10% of the time, and 10% of the time engage with kind of junk, whether that's food or whether that's, habits or whatever. If you do that 10% of the time, you're still giving yourself a little bit of freedom. Listen to that sizzle. You're probably still giving yourself, some freedom. That 10% of the time is going to help you feel pretty good. Now, the discussion of the irony of me posting that yesterday on I think it's, I can't even remember my Twitter handle. I think it's rebel_heart, but without the E's in the rebel. It's in the description, man, but whatever. But that's bad if I can't just be like, here's my Twitter. The irony of me posting that yesterday, alongside the topic of conversation for these last few furry vlogs, which have been like, I'm tired, right? I need to catch up on some sleep, catch up some rest. not be running so much every day and lifting weights, like give myself a moment to recuperate. The irony is, last night I was at a launch for a new book, a horror book, which was really cool, like a book about the history of horror, which is, you know, it's another topic I'm really interested in. So I was at this book, and they had like this kind of like Elvira-style drag queen who was emceeing the night and interviewing the author, and it was really cool. And I was coming back from that, and then one of my buddies was messaging me up because he was in my neighborhood, and he was like, "Oh man, like karaoke," and he knows I like, he knows I love the karaoke, which in Japanese translates to lonely orchestra. I think I found that one out from, I think I learned that from the How I Met Your Mother. But anyway, he's like, karaoke? And I'm like, I'll stop by, right? Because they were in a rock bar, there's a band playing. I was like, I'll stop by. So I stopped by the rock bar, we'll listen to this band playing. The guitar was hella out of tune, but whatever. They're just playing loads of rock songs, or even mixing in like pop stuff, but playing it, you know, like they did I Can Buy Myself Flowers, you know, they did a little bit of Miley Cyrus and some other shit, and it was fun. The time I was there, I was just getting beers put in front of me all the time. I was just getting whiskey and cokes put in front of me all the time. I was just getting shots put in me all the time, and it got a little bit out of hand, right? And then we go to the karaoke bar, and me stopping by for one or two drinks, and just to say hello to everybody on the way home from the book release party and the Q&A of that, which was my Friday night plan, right? That's what I was doing. It turns into me at the karaoke bar until like 3 a.m., you know? And I mean, it was a blast. I had a really good time, and I met a bunch of new people. I'm singing with this girl, you know, we get our number afterwards, and you know, it was nice, right? The fun thing about that karaoke bar as well is it has the Sonic Adventure 2 songs on the thing, so you can look at it, and they've got Live and Learn, and they've got City Escape, which is really cool. So you can just be like hanging out there, and you're singing all these songs everybody loves, and then you like jump into Sonic Adventure, and it's hype. Nobody knows what you're singing, but it's like, it's fucking fun. That brings me a lot of joy, as maybe you can tell from me talking about it. But yeah, so I had a really good time, but I didn't follow my own advice of cutting out the beer to the best of my ability, cutting out the alcohol to the best of my ability. This morning, and honestly still now, I feel terrible, man. I mean, hanging. And you know, this morning, I host this run club, you know, where like 30 people come up to run. You know, so I'm there, and I've still got to get up in the morning, host my run club, you know, get everybody there, we go for coffee afterwards, we talk, and I feel horrible, man. I feel horrible. And then the rest of the day, you know, I went skateboarding for a bit. I went to this market, you know, and had some food and all this sort of stuff. It was like this event that they do, you know, with a lot of independent sellers and food and music. And I went to that and stuff, and I just felt horrible all day. But it's just funny that, like, I had this, like, I said, like, you know, yesterday I outlined sort of like, hey, this is what I try to do to generally kind of feel pretty good, like, with myself, with my body, whatever. And then I completely ran away with it last night. But it was a good time. It was a good time. But was it worth it? I'm going to say no. Because I could have still had that fun time, and I still could have had all those same experiences without the alcohol, right? I don't exactly need it for, like, the social lubricant, right? I don't exactly need it to be like, oh, man, I'm anxious, and the alcohol helps me go talk to people, or gives me the courage to sing, or talk to people, or meet these girls, or whatever. So it wasn't necessary, and will it happen again? I'm sure it will. Will I do things in my ability to reduce the chances of that happening? I will. All right? I need to kind of front load and let people say to people like, oh, hey, I'm just like trying to cut down on the alcohol. Because they'll respect it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be like, oh, man, you got to drink. You know what I mean? They'll be like, all right, sure thing, man. You can still hang out with us even if, you know, you're drinking less or whatever. But I just found that kind of funny. And it is one of the reasons why, again, today, the little recovery and rest I'm trying to have this week, and the jumping back into, you know, productivity with a lot of my energy, it's why that's not happening. But yes, that's what I think I've got to talk to you about today. And then tomorrow's another day, you know, tomorrow's another day. There's a cool manga exhibition I've seen that's happening. So I'm going to try and get to that within the next coming days or coming weeks or whatever, because I think it's here for like a month or so. I'd like to go check that out, maybe show you guys some footage from that, if that's something you're interested in. And I think today my intention was to investigate a lot of stuff in terms of like, you know, cameras and setups and editing, but I just don't feel like it today, so because of the hangover, right? So that'll kind of continue into next week. But again, the intention, the desire to continually improve what I'm doing here, and the community of being able to speak to people, and, you know, not only give kind of like these intimate moments where we can kind of hopefully get to know each other and you can see my personality coming through. The desire to keep doing this and to move into kind of like the video essays and reviews and more polished videos I was talking about yesterday, that desire still exists. But anyway, thanks again for those who are commenting. Thanks again for those who are communicating with me, because that's what I want here. I want that. This is a method for interaction for me. So for those of you who have been talking to me, that is sick. If you haven't already subscribed, that would be really cool if you enjoy kind of my little corner for furry fandom over here. And yeah, socials and everything in the description as usual. And I'll catch you all in the next one. And I'm going to take this off and be able to chop my vegetables and do some cooking a little bit easier, with a little bit private time. Bye bye everybody. See you later.